What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with China Pro. And that phenomenal physique. That one of the most classic looking man in the whole of bodybuilding at the moment. Brand Chen brought to the stage today. So this was probably the best combination of fullness and sharpness that we have ever seen from Brand Chen. Easily his best physique ever. This is also by far the best back that we have ever seen on Brand Chen. As I'm sure most of you guys know this, that Brand's back, that was his biggest weakness since he turned pro. And that was the case up until last year. But it kind of seems like he definitely brought up his back, especially in terms of the condition. That is looking very sharp. And for those of you guys who do not know, Presti is the one who's coaching him this season. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys will agree with this, but in my opinion, this is among the best front double biceps in classic physique division right now. And along with that fullness and the condition, this was easily the most 3D and bubbly looking physique of Brand Chen on the stage. So that is a type of physique that we call truly eye-catching. And the crowd was 100% behind him today, and rightfully so. Now, I do not really think if there was any doubt that someone is gonna give Brand Chen a real fight today, especially in China Pro, because it's simply too hard to push a guy with that kind of beautiful structure. I mean, what can you say when a guy like Chris Bumstead himself, he's a fan of that physique. And you can see that this time his stage presence, that was also phenomenal. He also upped his confidence game here. So basically he maximized his potential with every single aspect with the help of Chris and Chris Cormier, who by the way is the one helping him with posing and presentation. So Brand certainly made a very big statement today on the stage. And I am so glad that he's gonna be stepping on the Olympia stage this year on a very high note and with a very good momentum. Now let's talk about the China Pro Men's Open Bodybuilding division. And unfortunately for all of us, as I just mentioned this in my previous video, no one Pradels in this lineup because of that food poisoning. But let's talk about Presti, the favorite to win this show tonight. The first impression about Presti is always that he needs more quads. He needs to bring up his legs, at least up to a point where he has somewhat of a balance between his impressive and very wide upper half and his quads. And it was the same case today in China too. But that being said, the guy is so polished in the upper half. Great midsection, very deep and very separated abs, and he's very wide up top. So he takes up so much space on the stage. Plus, Presti was again in a superb condition, very peeled, very detailed, and he was in the center stage at all times. So very little was mentioned about this guy from Russia, Danilov Sergey, a very tall mass monster. To give you a perspective, Presti is 5'11", and Sergey is even taller than him. So that right there is another freak of nature for us. So the size difference, especially in the legs, between these two guys, that was kind of stupid. And if we are being brutally honest here, Danilov Sergey was kind of dwarfing Presti in the legs department. But that being said, we know you have to take account of every single thing, especially in this day and age, where the aesthetics, they matter a lot. So the overall polish, and not to forget the back development of Presti, which was just on a whole different level. And that is why he was in the center stage at all times. So Presti and his coach actually did a wonderful job, bringing a nice combination of everything. The dryness, the fullness, and the conditioning. That being said, anyone who's gonna look at these comparison pictures, they are obviously gonna point out that Presti desperately needs more improvements in the lower half, especially in terms of size. He needs more hamstrings, more quad sweep. Now, I do think that Presti made a strategic move, jumping into this year's China Pro, as this is arguably one of the weakest lineup in the men's open bodybuilding shows for this year. But that being said, a win is a win, no matter what. So I think Presti is gonna punch his 4th Olympia ticket, and he might not end the season just yet. He might do this upcoming Portugal Pro, which by the way is his favorite show, as he has won that show 3 times. But we know the competition at that show, that is gonna be much deeper. But Presti will enter that show with zero pressure. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.